Hey guys, what's going on? Just wanted to do a quick video here today. Again, out in this nasty looking rain here, but at least it's not very cold. It's cool, but not very cold. But wanted to talk to you today about the fatal flaw, really, with avoiding certain exercises and movements because of pain or injury. And this is something that I've had experience myself with over the years, and a lot of the clients that I trained as well, because I get a lot of guys who were struggling with injuries, and injuries from everything from playing sports or running or working out or whatever they were doing, and so what would happen is kind of like the typical thing, that let's say you go out for a run or you go to play 18 holes of golf on the weekend, and then all of a sudden your knee, like you start feeling some pain in the knee or maybe the shoulder, or your back, something happens, you work out and you do something, right? And, when we have these kind of problems and they keep happening, we start to feel like, man, every time I try and do a squat, or every time I, go for a run or swing a golf club or whatever, that things start to hurt. So maybe, I probably shouldn't be doing this anymore. And then we start to kind of get in this mindset where it's like, okay, well, I can't run anymore. Or, I can't I've got to modify how I work out and things like this. And it makes sense, right? Because let's face it, when we hurt, when our bodies hurt, we don't want to be doing things that are going to make it worse, right? You don't want to injure yourself even further, or re-aggravate injuries or things like that. So, but then what happens a lot of times is that we end up like backing off from everything. So, we take time off, right? We rest, we recover. We don't do a whole lot. And, then it's like going back into the activities again. You start to feel better, right? The knee feels better, the back, the shoulder. You get back into doing what you were doing before, and then boom, the pain comes back again. And it's always this cycle, right? And so over time, though, then we start to avoid kind of the things that tend to make our, our pain worse. And it makes sense. Logically, it makes sense, right? But here's the problem. Here's the fatal flaw with avoiding like movements and exercises because of pain and injuries. The thing is that when we avoid things, there's a couple things. One is that it never makes us better. It will never make you stronger, and it will never really make the pain go away. It's like, yeah, the pain feels better when we're resting, but we got to move. We exist in this world, and life is movement. So, there's things we've got to do, whether it's at home, working around the house, on the job, but there's things that we have to do, and we have to be able to move. So if we're just avoiding movements all the time, we never really our joints and our tendons and ligaments and muscles never get stronger. So you're always going to be vulnerable to another injury or re-aggravating the same pain or injury that you have. And that's why people get stuck in the repetitive pain cycle, because they're not getting any stronger. Their bodies aren't able to handle these movements and get better at doing them, learning how to do them safely and effectively without pain, right? So, and then the other thing is that, if you think about it, I mean, God, we do so much in life. We're constantly on the go. We're moving around all the time. And if we really had to try to avoid all these movements and squatting and bending and twisting, turning and doing these things that really they're a part of movements that we do outside of the gym and in life all of the time, right? And we cannot just guard against every movement all of the time. It's just not going to happen. Plus, think about how much that's really going to negatively impact your life if you have to be on guard all the time and always watching every movement you do. I mean, you'll drive yourself nuts, and you wouldn't really be able to enjoy life much, right? Because it's always plaguing you, always on your mind, right? So, these are the things that happen. So instead, and then there's one more thing I should have said. The third thing is that, it's the principle of use it or lose it that we've heard about, right? If we don't use the muscles in the patterns that we move, we basically lose strength. We lose our ability to be strong enough to move well, to be stable enough to stabilize the joints of our body, to keep moving, keep the joints and tendons and ligaments healthy and mobile. So we start to become weaker. We start to become more immobile. We develop muscle imbalances. We develop movement compensation patterns, and it just increases stress and wear and tear, and it breaks our bodies down. So it never will make you better over the long term. So instead, really, what it comes down to is, where's the middle ground, right? We know that we've got to keep ourselves moving. We got to keep using the muscles of our body, but at the same time, we don't want to be doing things that are going to aggravate pain and make injuries worse. So finding the middle ground. Where is the middle ground? And when I say the middle ground, it's really finding the movements that you can do. As crazy as this sounds and as basic as it sounds, not rocket science, but finding the movements that you can do without aggravating pain. Finding movements that you could do that actually will enhance strength and improve mobility and improve your ability to stabilize the joints and segments of your body so that you could be stronger, more resistant, and resilient to injury and pain. And that's really what it is. I mean, look, if a squat bothers your knee, then what range can you perform a squat without knee pain? Maybe you don't go down as far. Maybe you have to modify the position a little. Maybe you have to change the leg position or the foot position a little bit, or where your upper body is, or things like that, right? But really, it's about changing the mindset, because a lot of times what happens is that we get so focused on what we can't do. We get so obsessed about what's wrong and what hurts, and we're so focused on it that we don't really take time to think about what are the things that we can do to get ourselves better. Because we're never going to get better by doing nothing. We're never going to get better by trying to avoid movements and activities, right? We get better by doing the things that will rebuild us and make us stronger over time. And that's how you do it. And I know it's not rocket science, but I mean, there's no simpler way I can put it than that. But the good news is this, that no matter, what you're going through, no matter what kind of pain you're in and injuries that you have or how old you are, it's never too late. You can always improve, and you can always get stronger and better. Absolutely. So find the things that you can do that will make you stronger, make you more mobile, make you feel better, right? Look for those things, find those things, and commit to doing them consistently. That's all I got for today. I hope this helps. Be unstoppable.